There's a lot you don't know about me. But do you really need to know? Perhaps there are myriad of facets of my being that remain concealed. Mysteries shrouded in the depths of my experiences, thoughts and emotions. Cold as an iceberg, you judge while the vast expanse beneath remains hidden from view. But does the extent of your knowledge truly dictate the essence of our interaction? Must every detail of my existence be laid bare before our relationship to flourish? Or can we find connection and understanding even amidst the enigmatic spaces between what is revealed and what is concealed? Consider the grandeur of ambiguity, the allure of the unknown. In the spaces between what is known and what is not lies potential for discovery, for curiosity to thrive, for imagination to soar. Perhaps it is in acknowledging the boundaries of our understanding that we truly come to appreciate the depth and complexity of each other's existence. So yes, there is much you don't know about me. You don't know the battles I face, but perhaps in the grand tapestry of our shared human experiences, such gaps in our knowledge are not deficiencies to be filled, but rather invitations to embrace the wonder of the unknown. Welcome to the Vision documentary. Tapes. Yeah.
So Moses, we're back again.
Back again.
How are you?
I'm good. First and foremost, I'm thankful. We're actually back a year after. I just thank God, I just thank God over here. Thank God we're here.
Thank God, man. So what are we getting into today?
Yeah, so today, tapes. Last year it was about, everything paying off, or all pays off, and it's still paying off. Well, I named it Tapes from last year when we finished the previous documentary, simply because I knew a year in advance that I wanted to talk about just what I went through or what I was going through previously, but not only that, obviously in the past year, future, that, I get to have the time to reflect and just talk about just everything I've done. I've never really had the time, me personally anyway, to really look back on my achievements or my struggles or talk about certain things, simply because I'm always moving forward and I'm always worried about the next thing, the next goal, the next task. And I kind of want to look back and be like, what? We're actually here still, and, we'll definitely be here in the future.
Amen to that. So in reflecting on the previous documentary, as you said, last year was All Pays Off. How would you describe the journey and the progress you've made since then?
The progress has been unbelievable. Like, I've always said it to the ones that are close to me. Since 2019, my life has just been getting better year after year. 2019 was an amazing year. 2020 was a fantastic year. Learned so much about myself, learned so many skills, met so many amazing people. 2021 was really about building. 2022 was really making things happen, just execution. 2023 was really just building on top of that and actually proving a lot of people wrong. Really putting a vision together, seeing it come to life. Okay. And I could say now 2024, more or less the same thing, but like the vision's really starting to take form, take shape, and a lot of doubters, a lot of people who were around me before, not necessarily around me at the moment, but they can see, maybe this guy was really right about something.
You know what? After everything that we've been seeing, it definitely seems like you're trending in the right direction, so we can't complain there.
Yeah.
So what have you been up to in this past year? Tell us about
what I've been up to. Yeah, so 2023, obviously now it's 2024, but 2023, wow. For me, every year I start the year with prayer, and I understand obviously people start their years differently, but I feel like for me personally, starting the year with prayer is so important. Reason being is because I get to, really commune with my God, kind of lay out the plans for the year and what I want and everything else like that. But for me, I know that even biblically anyway, in Proverbs 3, chapter 3, verse 6, when you lay your plans before God, he'll make them straight. So for me, I take that very seriously, That goes back to the question. I started off the year of prayer, just really thought about everything I wanted to do. I understood that I wanted to release the first Vision documentary, All Pays Off. So we worked towards that from January to March. And after Q1, I understood that I was going to go on tour with Yemi Alade, which was absolutely amazing tour. We started that in May. The first destination was Guadeloupe, so we had to go through France into Guadeloupe and kicked off the Baddie tour.
Are you ready? Over here, you ready?
Guadeloupe.
So let's make England, some noise.
Denmark, Sweden, Belgium, Tunisia, Spain, Germany, Switzerland. The Baddie Tour.
goes like this. Beautiful, beautiful.
Yemi Alade.
It was amazing, I can't lie. I mean, it was my first like big tour. You know, we've done smaller tours with her, but it was the first world tour. And so from May down to the 2nd of September, which was actually quite some time. We went to so many different places. Guadeloupe, Tunisia, France, Sweden, Germany. Bear in mind, we did several dates in these countries and we revisited some countries as well. So many countries. It was a lot of fun. Spending time with the band, spending time with Yemi, building our relationship. And yes, it's been such an interesting journey for me. I'll say that was like obviously most of the year, really improving my skills, seeing the world, talking to more like different people in different countries, learning a lot of French. I could read more French and speak it, so don't test me. And I think one thing I did last year, which I'm really happy about and I'm very proud of, is starting TBV Records. I had the plan to start TBV Records a year prior. So in 2022, I knew I wanted to start TBV Records, but it just wasn't the right time. And understanding that, I said, you know what, it's not something I'm just going to be like, oh, I'm going to do it one day. I really started, you know, doing more research, networking with certain people, having certain conversations, certain meetings. On the 16th of June, 2023, we released 2 songs, YGM Slims or Slims 23, Slims 23 on Spotify. And that song was called Zone. The visuals was released on that day out of the studio. Amazing.
Yeah, I was in my zone. Baby said he calling me, I'm picking up the phone. She hit me with a text saying she was home alone. Yeah, I was in my zone.
And another song as well with YTP, Yassi, Gang.
Shooters, top riders, Akura, men deep that mai chiedo scusa. Ma quale questura, trip and drop, non si chiama fortuna. Chasing the plan, mai chiedo scusa. Ma I'm lost too much for a cruiser.
That was an amazing song as well. Italian drill. The vision of that as well is to work with different artists, different cultures, different backgrounds, different sounds, and really building this platform so they can, you know, just shine.
It definitely sounds like you was up to a lot. Have you got any personal stories? Anything that we didn't see that you feel like meant a lot to you?
I got quite a few personal stories. I spent most of the year with Yeri, actually, to be honest. We went to Kigali for Trace Awards, so that's in Rwanda. That was amazing too. 40 under 40. I think we'll touch on that later.
Okay.
Personal stories, I would say it's probably not something that people imagine or expect me to say, but I feel like this year is something I definitely want to talk about in this documentary. And I would say it's like mental health.
Okay.
You know, mental health. It's a big topic. On tour, you know, people just think, you know, you're living the life. We are living the life, by the way. We are living the life. You know, you go out, have fun and stuff like that. But really, behind closed doors, when, you know, everyone is done with the show, celebrating, all that kind of stuff, you know, I have to head back to my hotel room and, you know, open my laptop and like really get down to work. And it's hard. If I'm going to be honest with you. And I am thankful for the tour because it actually helped me improve a lot. Let's just say that. Helped me improve a lot in terms of my craft and actually working on my craft and everything else to do with that. But it's very taxing mentally, making sure you're keeping up to a certain standard, even I'll say with creatives as well, when it comes to perfectionism and stuff like that, making sure you are pleasing the right people and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of different factors that go into it, and for me personally, and it's not probably like a huge story per se, but it's more so my experience. It was something that people just don't get to see. My story is that, you know, it's okay to not necessarily be fine all the time. Sometimes you just need the right people around you just to talk about it and kind of just share your experience or your story or however you want to call it. But for me, that was really my story that not many people know about, really.
So how did you overcome that? What did you dig in deep to?
That's a very, very good question. I fell back into like old habits. So I'm not necessarily like probably the best in terms of like dealing with certain things, but at the time it was like all I really knew. So obviously I understood that. So what I personally started to do is I started to look into ways where I can actually look for better ways of coping, dealing with these challenges. And for me, I'm very introverted, despite people not necessarily knowing that. You know, my personality test says I'm an INTJ. So you do research. Yeah, like, so I'm not really a fan of like talking to so many people, but I understood that conversing with people that are close to you is a way of actually helping, or like it helps deal with that sort of thing. It used to be far worse back in my like, I'll say younger days, because I'm getting kind of old now. I'm 24, but couple years ago. When I was in uni, so I was to say, like, to an extent, I was even suicidal. That's a whole nother conversation. Oh, I guess we'll talk about it today, I guess. Yeah, I might as well. Dealing with it, talking to people was one. Really taking the time out, actually having breaks. I never take breaks. I'm working every day. I still work every day now, but as in, I understand, okay, time to stop. And it's time to take a breather. I'll say the third thing is one thing I kind of realized in December. So after everything, after like assessing my whole life, I do these things called life assessments. Anyways, after looking and reviewing my like entire year, people around me, all that kind of stuff, one thing I realized I needed to do was to set boundaries. And setting boundaries, I think this has been like the biggest thing for me that actually helped. So if you're going through the same thing or whatever it is, actually sometimes to set boundaries and actually just like, know when to take a break and know when it's a time to stop, because like, in this industry, people want things from you all the time. And sometimes it's just like, okay, enough is enough.
So after setting those boundaries, how do you feel like that made you work better?
I had a clear mind. I can create more. I can do more. I'm able to give more, I'm used to being burnt out. So for me, it was never really a thing. Even back then, like when it came to like uni and like assignments, athletics training 4 to 5 times a week. When I was working as well, along with, building TBV, as well as modeling, whatever, there's a whole bunch of things that I was doing. Burnout, it happened, but I didn't really mind. Now it's just like I realized having more time to breathe and do what I want to do, maybe play some games, I like playing Call of Duty. Actually having the time to sleep, because I do like working during the night, but it's usually because I work during the night and I have to be up to do something else or back-to-back work. Actually sleeping properly enabled me to actually just work better. My work has been so much better. I've been able to be more concise in certain things, even certain meetings, my ideas, everything. Yeah, it's helped me a lot. Look after your health.
I mean, just talking about all of these things, all these negative things quite positively, and I can see you still got a smile on your face. It definitely seems like it's working. But what I will ask you is, how did you maintain a sense of motivation during these times of uncertainty?
2 things. I'd always say this to people that I talk to, who I've mentored and people who I like, help even along my journey and stuff like that. And there's certain conversations. I'm sure if you had a conversation with me long enough, and we definitely have, I talk about these 2 concepts a lot. Faith and execution. I feel like these 2 things have helped me massively becoming this person I am today. And a bit of a tangent. I write things down. Some of these ideas and things I've always had, I've actually written them down years ago. And I, for some reason, stumble across them. And I'm just like, wow, I actually thought of this a long time ago and it's happening now. For me, it's like, I have to be grateful and I have to look back, because it's one of the ones where I'm actually living out some of my prayers, things I've prayed for. But, because like as humans, we just go about life. We don't really get to appreciate things or look back on certain things. But that's that. But digressing back to these 2 concepts, faith and execution. Times of uncertainty, I am sure of what I want. The vision is there. People may not believe, people may doubt, people may say you're not going to get there. I've had my experience of that, I spoke about in the previous documentary, but that's okay. I know what I want. I know how I'm going to get there. Actually, I may not even know how I'm going to get there, but I know that we're moving in this direction. The vision is there. That's it. Execution, even biblically, it says faith without works is dead. I feel like people should really, really, really take that into account, because, even without one or the other, you can say, okay, you want to really do this and you never really work towards it. And you can have all the execution in the world, all the motivation in the world, but if you don't know where you're going, you're going to be lost like some Israelites for 40 years. I make a lot of biblical references here. I feel like it's just flowing. Faith and execution. Yeah, so execution is really just executing on my ideas and the things I want to do, so maintaining motivation is not really a thing. It's more so a discipline type of thing for me. Just because I know that, look, we have a goal. I know it's going to happen. It's a matter of time. Just work towards it. Just keep on going. Yeah.
I mean, it seems like you're taking your own advice as you say these things, because you definitely made progress. So this is great to see. So what lessons do you feel like you learned after all of that? So in 2023, what would you say were your biggest takeaway in terms of lessons?
Lessons. Yes. Also some stuff I said previously, setting boundaries and really looking after my mental health. It's okay to work every day. I work every day still. That's not a problem. But it's really understanding, okay, cool. If I'm going to work every day, here's what I should do to make sure I kind of recharge. I never really set time out to recharge, Whether that's me going out here and there, that has nothing to do with work, because for the most part, you will never really see me outside unless it's not work related. Whether it's me in a different country, me just going out somewhere in London or wherever it is, sometimes it's okay to actually go out and not work. Doing stuff like that you enjoy, or that I enjoy. And what I would say that is for me, even though it's still work related, is doing everything TBV. So what I mean by that is my own projects.
times. Time after time after time. Time after time after time. Got no patience. That's just a game, though. So Brody be safe. If he going on that glide, she know I like to be with her. Go catch a vibe. She know I gotta grind. Tryna make it out.
TBV Records, out the studio. That is so much fun for me. You know, working with these artists on music, bringing that vision to life, you know, having meetings, talking about it, like, okay, this is how we're going to market the song, or, you know, this is like how we're going to put the song together, we're filming the song, all that kind of stuff. Like, that is fun to me. That is so fun. Working with the team on TBV Entertainment, watching those videos, editing those videos, that's really fun for me. All these other components and elements of TBV, and I realized last year I was taken away from that a little bit. I think the final takeaway was really to say no. If I really don't feel like, let's see if it's going to benefit me, anything like that, but if I really feel like, you know, it's going to be very draining and I feel like it's not for me, then it's okay to say no. I was a yes man. I was like, yeah, I'll do this for you. I'll deliver it on time. I'll deliver it for tomorrow, even though we just filmed it a couple hours ago. Yeah, you get it tomorrow, it's fine. Did all that kind of stuff. No, it's okay to say no. Do what makes you happy.
So now we're in 2024. What routines or habits would you say have changed? I mean, you alluded to some of them, saying no, keeping your mental state, but do you feel like there's anything that you did in 2023 that now that you're in 2024, you wouldn't advise other people to do?
I'm not quite sure how to really go about that one. I mean, like, first and foremost, I mean, do whatever you feel like makes you happy. I think that's the main thing I want to get at here, you know, prioritize happiness. You could, you know, work a 9-to-5 job. You can do whatever you want to do, be an entrepreneur, you could be a content creator. If that's what you want to do, I have no issue with that. Me personally, anyway. I know it's your life, but there's a lot of people who are doing some things and they absolutely hate it. If we have a conversation, you hate what you do, I feel like, not me to have a problem, but it's just like, now I don't feel like we see eye to eye, because if you're not working towards what makes you happy, or if you're not doing something that makes you happy, and you are like in this cycle of doing this thing, I believe you should make an effort to kind of like pull out of that. So, but actually, just to add to that as well, in terms of routines and habits and stuff like that, in January, I did a lot of reflection in terms of how I go about certain things. So I'm a massive fan of this app called Todoist. I've been using it since 2019 when my life changed. It's a task manager. I've now incorporated another app called Notion. I now do quarterly planning, executing plans in 90 days. And there's even a book on it, stuff like that. But yeah, I feel like now I'm more concise in terms of me working towards specific goals. And that's been very, very helpful. Game changing.
So with these two apps, you've got you in your back pocket.
Yeah.
What are you using them to plan for? What can we look forward to? What can we look forward to?
Yes. TBV Records. More music. And we got two songs coming out. One that will be out by the time this documentary is out, called New Era. Hearing it first, or you hear it then?
Bagging up this way, I can't skip straight to the pudding.
Step clean, look fresh, yeah, so immaculate.
New Era.
Insane,
I'm excited for that. And another song that we filmed in O2 Indigo, you know, had to, you know, use my connections and, you know, get into the O2 and film there, called What For. Working towards obviously releasing more music, but not necessarily just singles or, you know, stuff to do out the studio or live art freestyles or one takes and stuff like that. I want to work towards an event called Cadence, and what this event entails is, you know, it's a platform for artists to come and, you know, showcase their talent, as well as that, you know, as we build and progress, the actual plan for this is to almost make it like a festival where we actually have the people we worked with come and perform. You know, we have to perform our songs and perform all of their stuff. Not only that, just have everything TBV that we've built to this point incorporate in that event. But for now, Cadence will be, a place where we bring these artists on board, we have them perform, and even when we do that, we'll even select some artists that are new that we bring on board and work with them and drop an EP. So that's something we're trying to do.
Are we going to be seeing any more of Team Money?
You fine as hell.
Hi.
He messages me, you know, or like he'll message people in the team, and obviously he'll kind of coordinate everything in terms of like TBV Entertainment. I kind of let you guys do your thing in terms of that. But in relation to Cadence, actually, when we do have the whole festival thing going, I'm really saying it's going to be a fantastic festival when everything, you know, reaches full potential and more. T-Money and everyone else will be obviously there doing their thing, and like it's going to be absolutely amazing. That's what I mean in terms of TBV elements that we built up. We're going to incorporate everything, and T-Money will be there, but for me personally, I understand that managing an event is going to be a lot of work. So Sims, if you remember from the previous documentary, he's part of the team. He'll be with me, probably just like filming me doing BTS stuff, about what I actually get up to during the day, and like probably see me stress out a little bit, maybe. I don't know, but it's gonna be amazing. Yeah, T-Money, man. Yeah, he's a funny guy. He's a crazy guy, but no, I do enjoy his presence at his company.
It's it. It's good. Well done, man. Yeah. He said it's lit, man.
But yeah, in relation to our stuff got planned, Aris Labelle is the clothing brand we're working on. It's something different. It's something I always wanted to do, and this is like what I was talking about previously about things I've written down. I've had these ideas for a very long time. Obviously, it wasn't necessarily that particular name, but starting a clothing brand and obviously looking into fashion, something I had an idea about a very long time ago. But it's just the fact that now it's actually happening, and we're making it happen. So at this moment in time, Q1 we're just currently putting together designs and stuff like that. When that comes out, it's gonna be absolutely amazing. And I'll always be wearing TBV stuff. I'll be wearing that, and you'll see me looking, as the kids these days say, dripped out. Yeah. I think those are two main things we're working towards this year. A whole bunch of other little plans. They're not little, quite big, but those are the two main ones that have my attention right now.
So if anybody sees this and they see the work that TBV is doing and they see all of your efforts, and they want to partner with you or they want to work with you in some kind of way, what's the best way for them to get in contact with you or TBV in general?
Email me. I read my emails all the time. Probably I look at my emails probably more than I look at my social media. Reason being is because I feel like my emails are more exciting. Usually when someone emails me, it's like it's actually something. I feel like with social media you can just like DM anyone, phone call. It's whatever. But I feel like with emails, you actually have to sit down and be like, I'm going to contact this person, and they take the time out to contact me, and I find that so cool. Maybe I'm just getting becoming an adult now. I don't know. As in email. Really, I check my emails all the time. If not, maybe send a message on socials. We are starting to grow on our socials, and I'm not the one always managing the socials. I do have Fidel managing that as well. So he helps me manage the TikTok and Instagram and all the socials really. So some things I may not always see. I do see a lot of things, but I may miss it, and I'm busy handling a bunch of stuff. So really, email is probably the best way of contacting me.
So if anybody that doesn't know, what's the email?
Oh yeah, so info@tbvproductions.com. That's how you contact me.
We'll put it in the link in the description.
Yeah.
Coming to some of the last questions that we've got for you. We can see that you're a happy person. All the things that you're talking about brings a smile to your face.
Yeah.
So outside of work, outside of TBV, what gets you going? What makes you happy?
TBV. I can't. Okay. Outside of TBV.
Outside of TBV.
That's kind of hard. I do like spending time with you, Jason.
I appreciate it.
I do like spending time with you. What else makes me happy? It's not necessarily to do TBV, but kind of is maybe creating. I like creating things. I like improving myself. It's probably a weird one, but I like improving myself. I like reading. I feel like school made like reading such a chore, but now I do like reading and actually like improving myself and actually see myself grow. I think I'm gonna go on another tangent. From 2019, being by myself and obviously in uni, doing these kind of things, I had time to now look at myself and be like, okay, you know what? I want to be this kind of person. And even if I didn't necessarily understand what that meant at the time, I started looking inwards and started building that brick by brick and becoming this type of person. And that makes me happy because me, when I was 19, 18 years old, looking at myself now, 24, he'll be very proud. He'll be like, damn, how did you do that? How did you do that? Because I feel like the jump has been very quick. It's been positive, really. Obviously, things happen, but I feel like it's literally made me stronger. And ideas I had back then that I've written down and stuff like that, I've now gained experience and knowledge, all that kind of stuff to now do those things. And that makes me happy because I feel like I can do more, so that really makes me happy. And our TikTok is now on 156K. That makes me happy too.
No, it's good to hear you talk about those things because if someone was to see like you, I guess they know you're very focused on TBV. Yeah. This is something that you're working all the time. So it's nice to hear that there's other things that are going on in your life to really push things forward. So
yeah. I mean, the modeling's cool as well. I can't forget that the modeling's cool.
Speak more about that.
Oh yeah, so even recently just worked with Adidas. interesting. Even like, let's say in times of uncertainty or where you just get rejected and stuff like that, Adidas were looking to work with me for over a year. And it's only now they're like, you know what, let's do it. These things happen. I worked with so many other people, you know, in Zalando. Even previously, I worked with the North Face. I think that's my most fun and exciting shoot I've ever done. It was in the mountains in Munich, I believe. The journey of that is progressing. So again, I can't really complain. It's cool. You know, it's just something I do. You know?
How would you compare modeling to what you do at TBV? What are the similarities? What are the differences there?
Similarities and differences. Okay, I got the answer. You ready?
I'm all ears. Let's go.
I'm in front of the camera. I'm never in front of the camera. I think that's the biggest difference. I feel like with TBV, I'm always behind the camera. Photographer, the videographer, I'm just like, what camera is that? Oh, what lens they're using? Oh, you just switch that, change the aperture. Oh, focus. I'm just like, that's amazing. So I get to see how people work. Usually it's me working and obviously filming other people, but I get to see how they do things, what's their process and all that kind of stuff. I feel like that's kind of cool. What is similarities? I feel like they're two different lives. I feel like they're two different lives in some sort of way. I feel like it's just a different life altogether, you know. Even like my Instagram profiles and stuff like that, they're all separate, categorized in different boxes, you know. But obviously I do connect with the photographers and videographers and stuff like that because I like seeing how they work and do certain things. So it's a learning experience.
So just to touch on this a little bit more, with TBV, especially your role in TBV is being behind the camera and modeling being in front of the camera. What aspects of modeling do you like? Because with you having your experience behind the camera, this is something that you enjoy, especially the technical side of it. Being in front of that camera, what does that do for you?
Well, I get to obviously be in the shoes in terms of like obviously the model because I am the model, and how they feel or how certain people talk to you and how like you kind of feel about that. I get to kind of like learn, okay, like I like being spoken to this way. Not say I'm like on set, I'm like, I don't like the way you're talking to me. But as in like, it's like more so a case of just like, okay, if I was going to be behind the camera and I was going to direct someone, this is how I like to direct in terms of doing something. Obviously, I understand that a lot of my modeling actually is in Germany, and even with some of the teams as well, not everyone's actually German, understandably, but obviously some people fly from different countries and have different backgrounds, so some may have different accents and stuff like that, which is understandable. I think it boils down to just being understanding. Once you're understanding, I feel like you can kind of just bridge the gap. I hope that answers the question. I don't know if I went on a tangent there.
Not answers the question 100%. Definitely where you're coming from. So with TBV going in the way that it's going, and modeling going in the direction it's going, both of them quite well. Yeah. We're proud of you.
Thank you.
So what's next for modeling? Because you've heard what's next for TBV, so what's next for modeling?
Forte, you tell me what's next for modeling. I don't know. I'm kind of just going with the flow here. Reason being is because like I feel like modeling kind of just like fills in here and there, you know, when I'm just like, mostly having downtime because I'm working a whole bunch of other stuff, but it's just like, oh, you know what? Cool, we're going to work with this company, we're going to work with this company. And, you know, for me, I enjoy it. So Forte kind of just take control of that, and they do an amazing job. I'm not trying to promote them, but you know, they do an amazing job. So I'm going to say they do an amazing job. And yeah, I'll say that's that really. Something I would actually like to mention, I decided to try something else different within TBV, and that was like, now call it TBV Plus, where we filmed a lot of boxing. So we filmed Wade Mayweather.
I'm giving nothing but energy. I give a I get 2 shots to the enemy.
KSI, Deji, and Blueface, and a whole bunch of people, you know.
Yeah, alright. On the dead logs. Ooh.
The people like Wack 100 conversed with him.
So my name bring out the city like a county building. They say this fame shit change you, but all
the money team and stuff like that. And that was different, for example. I'm open to trying different things and actually working with different people. And, you know, modeling is just one of those things. I have, however, decided to kind of change or pivot, I'll say massively, because a lot of people would know, you know, this was a huge thing for me. Last year, I officially stopped doing athletics. For me, it was the touring and all that kind of stuff. But I had to really pick because training 4 to 5 times a week, and then not being in the country, and then I'm away for the summer, Afro Nation, 50 Cent, you know, filming 50 Cent was cool. And so many other people of that caliber, and then like not being around to compete, you know, it's just like, how do I really balance the two? In relation to modeling, I don't feel like modeling intrudes on that. I feel like both of them can actually coexist. Obviously, when you're out touring and just in different countries and working with different people, you're eating different foods, you know. I'm not always eating fruit. I'm not. it's true, you know. I'm in the hotel, especially like Kigali, for example. The food. There was everything. Everything you can imagine they had. It was the best. The biggest range of food I've seen. We were there on a Friday, had like Donut Friday, so there was loads of donuts. You could just, it was really cool. It was really cool. It was really cool. I had to really pick. Not to say I don't work out, I'm in the gym. Staying fit. But I had to really pivot and stop athletics. And would I ever come back? Maybe. It's just something that I had to give up. So digressing back to modeling and like what's next for that, we'll just have to see, Obviously, we work with Adidas now. And, we may work with Nike next. We may work with all kinds of people. And for me, I'm just enjoying it. So, yeah.
It's great to hear, man. Something that you said earlier, you didn't give us the full story about, so I want to circle back to it.
Okay.
Is the 40 under 40.
40 under 40. Oh, how could I forget?
So that was something that happened last year. Obviously, I know about it, but if you could please talk about that a bit more.
And just like you said, like, I feel like tapes, this documentary, I feel like it's important because for me, I kind of look at these things and I'm just like, nice, task manager, tick. Next thing. And I don't really get to think and actually like look back on like the stuff I've done. 40 under 40 was an amazing event. I was nominated under the category of video production, and I was up against very, very notable names. Kind of scary. I had to do something that was very outside my comfort zone and, tell people to vote for me. Please vote for me under video production or just media as well. I won. At 23 years old at the time. I was in November. But it was close to my birthday anyway, and I won for video production, 40 under 40. There was so many notable people there, people of like high caliber and all that kind of stuff there. And I guess I'm one of those people because I was there and I won. It was a very big moment for me. I took a little bit of time to reflect actually because like there were so many people who I've stumbled across or people I may converse with here and there and they just don't necessarily believe in what I do. And that's fine, you don't necessarily have to believe, but I think it's me just saying this for other people. Like, you don't need people to believe in you to do what you do. Just make sure you do what you believe you want to do and do it well. And it still goes back to those two concepts of faith and execution. If you really believe in what you got to do, it's going to happen. And as long as you walk on that path and actually execute on it, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's not even debatable. It's not even a small percentage. It will really happen for you. So it's just a matter of time.
So I heard through the grapevine that Forbes have contacted you.
Yeah, that's true.
Could you please talk about it a bit more?
Forbes contacted me and they said I'm a potential candidate for 30 under 30. It's amazing. I mean, whether I get or not, the fact that Forbes can see my work, they can see everything I'm doing, and they're just like, you know what, he's doing something. I feel like it's a lot of validation. I think that's probably the best way I can really put it, That did make me think like, I'm actually doing something. 40 under 40 did that for me as well. But Forbes also was like, oh, I must be making some sort of moves for people to acknowledge it and actually consider what I'm doing is actually worth something, or I'm actually heading in the right direction. And I know I'm heading in the right direction, but for me it was just a confirmation of like what I am doing. Whether people believe I'm doing the right thing or anything like that, it's just like, we're doing something, we're doing something.
So we've spoken about everything, all the things that we've got coming up, all the things that you've achieved, and we're really excited to see what things that's coming next. So could you please sign us out?
Yes, so thank you for, tuning in or watching this documentary. I don't know if it's like the best sign out I could possibly give, but I would say my message to you is to stay focused, keep on working towards your dreams, and whether people believe you are doing something amazing or not, as long as you believe you are, it's perfectly fine. Prioritize your happiness, make sure your mental state is intact, and just keep on working towards whatever you want to do. And as long as that makes you happy, I'm happy for you. It definitely influences people, and I feel like if it's through music, if it's even through TBV Digital, if it's through TBV Entertainment, we can make that impact and reach other people that we couldn't reach before, even if it was just by myself. But I think now that we are together as a team, all these things are possible. I believe it's that. Okay. Oh, okay. This is why I don't do this thing, because I have to start again a million times. You can imagine how long it took me to do my first one.
And you was by yourself as well.
Yeah.
On camera, you're in the middle.
Okay. I got you. It's the let's go.
Oh, fantastic. So Moses, Okay. The grapevine.
The grapevine. Because I want to get back home and be like, I wish I mentioned this.